It's exam week at Baghdad University. In a few months, these economics students will graduate and start looking for jobs. In the wake of the defeat of the Islamic State group, they're supposed to spearhead Iraq's transition towards peace and stability. Yet few of them have hope for their future.
For those who've majored in economics, there are very few jobs available. There's no industry, so most of us end up working on the markets, where we're paid by the day.
For women, limited by Iraq's conservative norms, the prospects are even grimmer.
There are many jobs that boys can do while girls can't. For example, a boy can work in a cafe or return home at 1 in the morning, but a girl can't do that.
Mohammed Nasser is about to earn his second university degree. After graduating an engineer in 2013, he couldn't find a job and went back to study economics.
It's really hard for Iraqi graduates to find a job without interference from a political party, because every institution is controlled by a party.
Iraq is facing a job crisis of unprecedented proportions, according to the World Bank. Over a third of Iraq's youth is unemployed, and amid fast population growth, job demand is expected to more than double by 2030. Experts fear that unless the government begins creating jobs now, youth unemployment could become a source of instability.
The Iraqi government should consider the social effects of youth unemployment because there could be an increase in crime, an increase in murders. It could all explode. In other words, there can be no stability or security as long as there are unemployment levels like this.
The Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs runs vocational training programs to help unemployed Iraqis. Up to 50,000 individuals receive this type of training annually, a drop in the ocean given the 2.5 million Iraqis who urgently need jobs. This ministry official blames the lack of funds.
The salaries of the employees represent 90% of the budget. We hoped that the training would receive more budgetary allocations, but this didn't happen because of the lack of funding.
Some young Iraqis are tired of waiting for the government to provide solutions. The station is Baghdad's first co-working space for entrepreneurs. Built in just 9 months, its loft-style architecture and trendy crowd exude a contagious can-do attitude rarely associated with Baghdad.
You know, when I'm here, I'm meeting a lot of people. We're just exchanging a lot of ideas, and being here in the same position or the same place will help each other to start our business and make it larger.
Some 30 startups are currently resident here. The station navigates them through Iraq's treacherous bureaucracy. It took Mustafa Jabbar 9 months to register his graphic design company.
The government requirements is designed for companies with big capital, not for like small startups. And most people, unfortunately, they don't try even to register because they know it's a long process.
Even more established startups continue to face challenges. Miswak is Iraq's first successful online retail platform. Co-founder Ammar Amin launched the company in 2013 after he and a friend cobbled together $30,000 in personal savings. But when they tried to secure financing, they hit a wall.
To scale, we needed capital, which is very hard to get. So yeah, I can say for the 5 years we have been struggling on our own. No funds whatsoever.
Private banks rarely lend to startups, while foreign investors fear injecting capital into a country that provides few safeguards. In 2015, the government launched a lending program for small businesses. But amid stringent procedures, banks had only disbursed 6% of funds as of mid-last year. The Prime Minister revived the program earlier this year, and Amin is hopeful to get funding soon. But other urgent reforms are needed to help the private sector thrive.
You know, in Iraq there's no electronic transactions whatsoever. It's a barrier and it's a hard one. You cannot overcome unless regulations are upgraded, and the government, they have to make this step.
Iraq's youth is in the starting blocks, ready to take their future into their own hands. But without far-reaching reforms, the vicious cycle of unemployment, poverty and conflict could rattle Iraq for years to come.